Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Ben. How are you? It's been a while.
Yes, man, long time, long time.
How is your STR classes going?
I'm working on it still. There's so many pieces to
Activities
this,
to
so it's a lot of fun to see. Like, okay, I gotta do this and do this and do this. Like, it doesn't stop. So yeah, it's good. I'm still trying to get my first unit, so I'm working on calling people in my leisure time, basically after work, between
Mhm.
work. So I'm trying to work on my not trying. I am working on my speech basically.
Right.
I'm learning it in English and I have to turn it back to Norwegian. So
Okay.
I have a little bit more work to do.
All right. Because it always comes with, whenever you want to pitch something, it always comes with a lot of practice.
Yeah,
You have to make sure that you do it over and over, and then you go back and you analyze what you've been doing, and then you
yeah,
figure out if something has been working, something is generating interest, something is working. If it's not, then you need to change it. It's a process. It takes a while.
yeah. I hope it takes more faster than a while though. But nothing is like a lottery, so you gotta
Yeah.
work on it slowly but surely. And I'm also reading The Slight Edge still. I don't know if Steve is reading that book, but
I've just
I'm.
finished it actually, Ben.
Oh, nice! You finished it. That's fast, man.
Yes.
I'm working on 5 pages a day, so
Mm.
that's what I got. And yeah, how did you find the book?
Hey, yeah, no, yeah, it was very good. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, pretty fantastic. I was quite pleased that I had quite a few of these things in place already. I'm not sure how I came about them, but so many things made sense, and I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah,
Yeah,
I've kind of been doing that, and but it just helped fit more pieces of the puzzle together, if you like.
yeah. It does because there are so many small things that if you don't do them, you just you just go spiraling downwards basically. And I've found out since I read this book maybe 5 or 8 years ago or something, if I actually continue to follow the book's teachings, I would probably be somewhere else in that matter. So, but I'm doing it right now. I'm working on the small things, repeating them, even though they're boring, and uh, eventually it becomes like a snowball effect, if you know what I mean. So it's
Can
good.
you guys share the book here in the chat?
Come
Sure.
again?
If you can
This
share the book,
Sure, sure.
thank you.
We could share the book either here or in the chat.
Uh,
I have it on a PDF.
you have it on a
Just the
PDF.
name. I will figure out the name of the book. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, Steve just mentioned it's the slight edge.
The Slight Edge.
The
That's
slight edge.
true.
So
Okay, thank you, Steve and Ben.
No problem. No problem.
there was there's this one concept that captured me from The Alchemist. I'm sure you've heard of the book The Alchemist.
I've read it
yes.
You've
three
read.
times, 4 times.
Yeah, it's a constant inspiration. But
Yeah, it is.
there's this one thing they talk about called the beginner's luck. You remember that concept, Ben?
Yeah, yeah,
The beginner's luck. When you start doing something, the universe encourages you to go ahead to tell you that you are on the right path, to go ahead. And that is when you get your initial success, and sometimes your initial success comes really easy, and that's just the universe. That's just the universe encouraging you to go ahead and do more.
Yeah.
So
that book is small but has so many gems in it. It's incredible.
And yeah, Daniel now knows that we hear what I shared with him on WhatsApp. So I basically told him about how I started off with entrepreneurship, how it has always been on my mind, and then I was actually forced to get started. But because the plans were there, it was not so bad after all. And when I look at my journey and I read that book, it's very very easy or very comforting to know that some of the things that I've been through or some of the things that I've experienced is actually a common phenomenon, common to many people, and that it happens to everybody who starts on this journey. So Ben, I think you will also experience a lot of these incidents now. What the alchemist is actually describing, and it will eventually come to the point where you see, okay, yes, my journey is quite similar to what I see in the book. And many of these books, in fact, many of these books, because these books are actually written out of experience or observation, personal observation.
Right. And just not stopping, like you have to continue doing the things you have to do basically almost each and every day, even though they seem so small. You just have to keep on doing them.
Right.
For me right now, it's going on the internet and looking for new areas to visit, and look at our Norwegian Craigslist, if you know about that, and find like houses and apartments to see if I can, and eventually send messages to those people and get calls, so just small things, even morning routines. I have my morning routines kind of pretty much set, especially the cold shower. Cold shower for me, it just woke me up, because I just woke up right now, and I was like, oh, groggy or whatever that it's called, and the cold shower is like a quick fix to wake up real fast.
If I
didn't take that shower, no, coffee doesn't help actually.
Really?
So,
okay.
I haven't drank coffee in. I'm actually like doing 100-day without coffee.
Oh.
So
nice
it's so far so good. My cold shower is much better. It slaps you so hard, you wake up. Trust me. So yeah, just small things. It's so important.
Is there a guideline from the book, or did you find out that, Ben? Okay.
This is from various different types of books. Like the cold showers is actually from a guy called Wim Hof from Netherlands. He's called the Iceman, and he does insane things in the cold basically, and he walked the what's the biggest mountain called again? Everest. He walked
yes.
the Everest mountain in shorts, boots, and only a backpack all the way to the top.
My.
And he was He was unsure if he could do it midway, but then he kind of found peace on the way up because he couldn't see anything, and there was like basically a snowstorm on the way up, and most people would be dead by that time, you know. So, but he learned how to control his body since he found out this cold trick, and now he's teaching it to many people in the world, basically how to do that. And cold showers is one of those because it does something to your brain when that cold hits your body. There's something happens, you know. So and I feel it because you know it, you hate it in the beginning. You hate it so much, and after a while you get used to it. Now I'm kind of getting addicted to the cold shower, you know. And the showers here in Norway are super cold. I don't know how cold your showers are, but I'm betting it's not as cold as here. Especially in winter time. In winter time, everything is even much colder. So yeah.
Actually, I have the opposite experience.
You do?
Because when I wake up, I'm not that kind of person that when wakes up needs to drink coffee to be alert and stuff like that. But there is I think that I already saw it in a session from a guy which is Jim Quick. He does a lot of talks.
Yeah, he's like a brain hacker.
Yes, and actually that happens to me. It's not because I've heard him. This has been happening to me for a while. And it's in the morning when I'm in the shower, I get my brain in some state that I found some solutions from my problems that I'm dealing with in my work or stuff like that. And it's kind of strange, but it really happens. It's something spontaneous. So it's funny we have different experiences from our showers, but I guess it's an important part of the day.
Yeah. Nice. So you take Shivam is here.
Shivam is.
Hey, hi everyone.
Hello, Shivam.
How is everyone doing? Sorry, I'm late.
We were talking about showers.
Showers, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Jumping in right now. Oh, you guys talking about showers now, huh?
No, actually, we were talking about brain hacks, right, Bill?
Yeah, it's kind of a brain hack actually. So
Yeah.
I you know, for me, drinking coffee, it became like an addiction eventually, and I started drinking more than I needed to. And at work, everybody drinks coffee, and coffee is available everywhere. You know, there's always someone who has made coffee, and I find myself going to the lunchroom just to get one cup, like at least twice or three times a day, and eventually the effect just stops. And
that's true. When I was a student, there was a time when I used to drink almost 2 liters of coffee every day.
Yeah.
So I basically gave up most kind of useful food and would only go on coffee for most of the time.
Does it create any issue? Like if drinking lots of coffee, I think your sleep cycle usually get disturbed.
No, not really. Not really. Coffee, the only issue is if you drink it after a certain time, your sleep quality will lessen, even though you think you could sleep right after you drink coffee. The quality of the sleep will still be affected.
Yes, that's right.
Even Jim Quick talks about that.
For me, I used to have this routine when I was in university. I was doing my engineering, and I used to stay in a hostel. So every Saturday they wouldn't provide food. And if they didn't provide food on Saturday, that every Saturday afternoon, I would come up with a huge headache. You know,
Oh wow.
and it took a while for me to realize that it was actually caffeine addiction. So I stepped back, I got out of it.
Oh man. But you don't drink coffee anymore or what?
I do once in a while.
Yeah.
I mostly grind my own beans and make my own coffee.
Okay, nice.
That's really a lot of difference. It's really a lot different from having regular coffee.
Yeah.
Most of the coffee shops, they always do that, fresh. They grind beans right in front of you and make your espresso for you.
Yeah. You know, don't get it twisted. I love coffee, man. I love it so much. That's the thing. And I follow some sleep hackers and sleep doctors and stuff, and their podcasts.
Mhm.
And if you can have control drinking coffee, then it's best to stop, as they say, before 2 p.m.
Mhm. Mhm.
because your body needs a lot of time to get that
I guess
coffee
I don't
out
know.
and whatever.
Right.
So if you can
Arsen,
drink at least
welcome.
one or
Hello.
one or
Hi,
two
Arsen.
cups.
Right.
Sorry, I was just
Hello.
making my coffee.
Hello.
Nice.
Arsen, we've been discussing brain hacks. So that's
What?
how coffee came up. Brain hacks.
Green hats.
Brain hack.
Brain hacks. How to
How to hack.
make your brain work better for you.
Mm-hmm. I think that's it.
Okay. All right. Hey, nice to see you, man. And your coffee.
That's quite a big cup, I guess.
Yeah.
Not big enough.
All right.
You know, like the dude I follow, the Cashflow Diary, Jay Massey.
Uh-huh.
His trick is he loves coffee, and his trick to getting investors is going to Starbucks.
All right.
That's his office. And he goes to Starbucks and plays the cash flow game, the board game.
All right. Okay. Oh,
And-
wow. Okay.
And suddenly people get interested because he's with a bunch of people playing the game, and people start looking and and hearing what they're talking about, and eventually he gets new investors that way because they get curious and what are you guys doing? What is this?
Yeah.
And that's how he catches them basically.
Yeah.
That's just a really smart idea.
Yeah.
I also wanted to buy the cash flow game, but I couldn't get it to Norway, and that was pretty.
I couldn't either. I was trying to buy it myself, but I don't find it anymore.
I think maybe they stopped. That's
No, you could
really
buy
sad.
it in some markets, but then it's not shipped to everywhere. Where I am right now in Dubai, they don't ship it to Dubai, but in India I can get it.
Okay,
So there is an
so
option.
it's still up and running, if you know what I mean.
Right? Yes. I mean, they have it on Amazon store, so it's just where they want to ship it and where they don't want to.
That's pretty. Isn't that sad? The thing that most people want, it's not shipped everywhere. What is that?
That's true. That's true. And many people have never even heard of cash flow clubs. And even though many of the books they actually mention, I think the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, the first one doesn't mention any of those. but I think most of the other books, many of the other books, they mention about the cash flow clubs across the world. And
Yeah.
somehow, even on the website, you know, we are a registered cash flow club.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you can register a cash flow club. If you start a cash flow club and you have members, you can register a cash flow club on the Rich Dad Poor Dad, richdad.com website. So there's an option for that.
Is our club registered?
Our club is registered, yes.
Okay,
Ours
good.
is probably the only club that works the way we do. So online and
So far. Yeah, I haven't heard about any others. So
not me.
Actually, I found out that there are two here in Portugal, but they are far from my home. So
oh, you're from Portugal.
yes.
Bom dia, bom dia.
Hola.
That's good morning.
There's a huge advantage in being able to play the board game compared to what we are the version that we are playing, because
Yeah, I
in
heard
the
that.
board game you have no calculator, you have no, on the online game when you play this, all your figures, they go exactly to the to the sections on your financial statement. They go to your financial statement automatically. So if you take a loan, it immediately goes to the liability. If you have cash flow, it immediately goes to your income. So it all happens automatically. But when you are playing a board game,
You have to write things down.
you have to write it down. You have to work on it, and that
Oh my God, yeah.
that actually improves you so much. Well, I've done this with the Cashflow 101 CD version, which is why I'm trying to get the CD version. I'm thinking of ways to get the CD version across to our Zoom meeting so we can all play on the CD version.
So we can play online with the CD version.
Go online with the CD version.
Cool.
So there again, you have to. There's not much calculation done on the CD version, but then you have to drag and drop each of these figures into the right columns. So at least you know this is the figure that goes into this column. This is the figure that goes into that section. So
do you have right now, Lijoy?
I have the CD. It takes a while to set up because I'm not on the same computer that I use for the CD version. But
we can have next meeting.
Let me figure out. Let me see how I can get this.
Sure.
I had posted the link on the Cashflow Club sometime back. How to download these CDs. It took me a while to download these CDs. So they're not produced anymore. They don't have the CD. Anyway, good. Now that we have 6 members, shall we start the game?
Oh, really? Cool.
6-player game.
That's the first time, isn't it?
In the Zoom meeting, yes, I think is the first time.
Nice.
All right, let me open the game and I will post a link. Yes, no.
Anyone keeping tab of stock market? Any updates? How is it doing? Channel.
I know Bitcoin is booming like I don't know how. It's really insane, and so
Awesome Bitcoin right now.
You have?
Actually, Bitcoin was dropped so much before the halving they are having. Halving is it means that the cost of the transaction of Bitcoin is going a half of the price. So normally they are waiting to increase of the price after that, and just before that there was a huge drop on the Bitcoin. It's happening in every 4 years, and it was the second one. Before halving, it has dropped down to the 6,000, I guess, or 5.5 thousand.
Like recently, right?
What?
You mean recently? The last drop?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
In the March, I think.
Yeah, last year. And before that, it was at $3,000 or something. That's when I bought my first one.
17,000. From 17,000 goes to 6,000. Now it's starting to get the same levels again, but because of inflation of dollar and other currencies, it's going to be higher than 17,000. So
that, you mean than the last record, or?
Yes, it will be higher than the last record.
Okay, because it's 15 right now, isn't it?
It was.
I think it's about
18,
15 right now.
It was 18 last night.
Oh wow.
Okay. Showing as Turkish liras.
Ben, I think Lejo created the group game.
Ben, could you join?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just making breakfast
Almost
for the boys.
Yeah.
Let me see here. I'll be right on.
Almost 19 right now.
Oh wow, that's insane.
Okay, who's missing? Steve. Okay, Steve's here. Robert. Okay, I think we have somebody else from outside, right? Robert.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to wait for him to go out.
Yeah, outwait him.
Okay, anyway, Ben is gonna take a while.
I'm on my way right now.
I tell them we take 10 minutes.
It's okay, Shiva. Just leave your thing. We'll wait for him to get out.
Okay.
You know,
long
guys,
is it going to take?
while we were actually chatting, I started another game and it filled up almost immediately. All 6 players, it's filled up immediately. So I didn't want to disturb them. So I started the game and I exited. I left the game and I started another one again.
Nice.
There's another cash flow game running right now.
I saw it.
Yeah, you saw that. Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm like, is that you?
Oh, someone went out. Okay, Steve went out. Steve got out.
Steve?
Steve jumped?
Steve.
Hey, yeah, no, I got kicked out.
You got kicked out. Okay, hold on. We'll let you know when the Robert guy is gone.
Oh yeah, so I took Steve's place. Sorry.
You took Steve's place. You took Steve's place. Okay.
So Robert Kioski is playing with
Start
us.
a new one and put a password on it.
No,
Yeah,
without passwords. Passwords don't work.
Okay.
There will be a lot more trouble than
Right. Robert is not giving up. Okay.
Okay, I will make him give up.
No, it's okay. Let's, oh, please don't do that.
Oh shit!
Please don't do
That's
that.
very
Please
sad.
don't do that.
We should have created actually that one.
Okay. Let me start another one.
Robert, could you please leave?
Just think if it was Robert Kiyosaki only himself.
Okay.
Think it's Robert Kiyosaki himself, and he might want to play with us.
Okay.
Oh, we got another one in.
Okay. So,
Is it cash flow?
yes,
Yeah.
it's cash flow, but
It's full right now.
it's already full. Right?
I kept doing it.
We have another one in.
Yes.
Dr.
Let me
O.
make it with a password.
Yes.
Let me make it with.
Okay, password is 123.
No.
Password, the
without,
problem-
without
Yes.
password. Without password. Without password.
The problem with a password, it will, if anyone jumps, then we won't be able to get in.
Okay, but we are already 6 people and
I
we don't
think I'm
want
not
anyone
It's
more
okay.
to get in.
It's okay. It's okay.
Who is not in? Shivam? Shivam is not in.
Yeah, I'm not.
Shivam
in.
is not. Just give her a couple of minutes.
There.
He's gone.
There.
Shivam, jump
Go,
in.
go, go, go. There,
Ah,
okay.
perfect.
Yes, excellent.
Oh,
Okay, good.
Where
All right, we can game now. All right, we have only about 6 minutes left on this meeting. So what do you want to do? Start the game and then go out and come back, or do you want to go out and come back now and start the game for the next 40 minutes?
Let's start the game.
Okay, let's go out. Let's end this meeting. Go out and come back, and we'll start the game out
Sure.
fresh. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's missing? Daniel Larson. Okay, Steve. Yes. Okay. Hey, I've got the rich profession this time. I'm a doctor. Okay, all in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Good. All right, shall we start? Everybody in?
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
There we go. Choose. Oh. Okay. And, all right. Who goes next? Daniel. Stop share. Daniel? Okay.
You guys,
Good.
yes. So police officer,
Yes.
8 flags. Okay. I'm gonna take it. I think it's over the edge. 220, but it's still, I can still make some money from it, from my experience.
Yes, because it's
No,
the
no.
beginning of the game.
Yeah.
You can take that kind of risk. Something interesting, very interesting happened sometime. I think last week. I was playing this game with someone, and every time I would buy a Plex, the very next roll, I would get, or within the next payday, before the next payday, I would get an offer to sell it. So I was like, for the last, for I think 4 moves, I was buying Plex, selling, buying Plex, selling, buying Plex, selling, buying Plex, selling. It was a totally crazy game. And
You were making intraday trading.
yes, intraday. Right. And your screen.
Maybe.
Well,
Ben, can you share your screen?
I'm trying.
Okay.
On the screen. There we go.
All right. Right. Yeah. Oh, what is that?
I clicked twice and it went too fast.
Pass. All right. Okay. All right. Never mind. Let's go to the next one.
Shivam.
All right. Charity. Okay. All right. Pass. Pass. There is an option. Okay. Hold on, guys. There is an option to share multiple screens simultaneously. I am going to enable that and see what happens.
Okay. Mine says only one.
Okay. Probably because you're on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys able to see mine?
Steve, can you zoom up?
Sure.
No, I think I was sharing. Okay, sorry.
Yours was Charity, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You rolled into Charity.
Lol.
Okay.
Okay, I also have.
Steve rolled into it himself. Okay, all right. Now,
It's Erson.
Yes. Okay. First.
okay.
Okay.
That's and right. All right. Roll and 67. Okay. Down payment is a little high. 12. So let's see. 12,000 by 67,000 is 18% down payment. Okay, I'd still take it because the rental is good. And I've got a, okay, I want to share this here. Because my profile is a doctor's profile, which means my payday is one of the best. Is in this profile, what I normally do is if I've got a high-paying job, I try as much as possible to convert my payday into cash flow assets as much as possible. So until I hit negative payday, and it is going to take a while for me to hit negative payday, because if you look at it, my my payday was 4,700. So 4,700 was my payday, positive. So which means I have about $47,000 before I go into negative. If I take loans until I go into negative, I have about $47,000, which is quite good to do any of the big deals. So I normally what I do is I go ahead all out and I pick up most of the big deals that even the not so great ones, so that I can convert it into cash flow assets, and then I get a sale opportunity and I get rid of it. Of course, it's still I still don't pick the bad deals. I still don't pick the car wash which goes at 350K. So what I normally do is I feel very happy to go and pick up most of the deals, just because it adds a lot of diversification to my portfolio. Right, so I just wanted to say that along with this. Who's next? Daniel.
Daniel. Yes.
Right, 140.
Is not 50, I guess. This
I
is a
think
good one.
it's
That's a cash flow asset.
Oh,
If
the
you look at
third
it.
one,
Yes.
that's one.
it's a cash flow asset, not a capital gain asset.
Not
Yeah.
not the one that you need right now.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna pass it because it's really if I want to sell it, won't be in profit. I'm not buying in profit, I think.
You're not buying in profit.
So I'm gonna skip it.
All right. Okay, then video is a little. All right, 70,000. All right, okay. Okay, this is interesting. I want to highlight a few things here. Ben, could you zoom in a little more? That would be nice. All right, just to the deal. Just to the deal. Excellent. All right. Now, look at that down pay versus cost. The down pay is just what, 9,000 divided by 70,000 is 12.8. So 13% of the value of the cost. So if you, this is something that is, the downsize manager must sell this 3x2 house because he can't afford mortgage payments on his new salary. Area in transition. Now, if you look at it, nowadays, these days, you will find a lot of these properties, especially in a down market, when the market is swinging down, you will see a lot of these kind of properties because apparently it says downsize manager. So a manager has a good unit, a good 3x2, and that good 3x2, even in a down market, if you notice, it costs 70K. A down market, 70K is in an up market is really worth something. And in real life, these days you would see, I mean, I've been looking at a few real estate properties in the last few days, and really good value. If you want to buy something, if you want to look at the real estate as an investment option, these days this is the right time, because you will find the deals which are like these desperate sellers in good locations, in good area in transition, which means it is an upgrading. It's an area which is going up, which is getting better as a neighborhood. And it's a downsize manager, so a manager's house, a good one, which is costing 70,000 in a down market, which is only asking for 12 13% down payment. It's a great deal if you ask me. And this is one of the reasons why you look at your what do you say? You look at the market cycles. If you look at the market cycles, then you would immediately know, okay, a good deal from a bad deal. You would be able to make out if you know which way the market is hitting. And these days we know the market is going down, or it has already hit its rock bottom with the pandemic and all of that. So all these situations are actually opportunities if you want to if you want to capitalize on them. So this is one of the reasons why we always stay so observant and carefully looking for these opportunities. We learn to identify these opportunities when the market pops up one of these chances. Ben, your move. If anyone wants to add, especially Ursin is in the market now with and I think you should be looking at a lot of information right now about the real estate cycles, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm learning more about cycles when I have get in the market. Actually, it seems good when I read downsized manager must sell. That's okay. It's like almost free, meaning according to a property, but 70,000 with 9,000 down payments. Yeah, it still can be sold with 50% profit. And I think that's not a cash flow asset. You can buy and sell it.
Yes, it's a capital gain asset. No, what I'm not talking about the deal in the game. I'm talking about the real market. You know, the deals in the game are more generalized, because if you
Yes.
look at the deal in the game, if you buy 3x2 in the small deals, I think the 3x2s come at 55K or less than 60K. So
30, 35, 40.
All right, excellent.
Yes.
So even those, okay, if you have a 3x2 at 30K and you have a 3x2 at 70K, you can assume that there is even in a very down market, very low market, I believe you can assume that there is a considerable difference in the quality of the property.
Of course.
From 30,000 to 70,000.
In
spite of that, in the game, they sell for 135,000. If you have a 30,000 3x2 or you have a 70,000 3x2, they all sell at 135,000. So not all the deals in the game or all the methods in the game are exactly reflecting the real estate, I mean the real markets, the real economy. But it's mostly, I would focus more on the description connected to the costing, the figures, because the description and the figures, they should match. If they match, then you can connect it to the real life. So in real life, if you got a unit in the down market for 70,000 and in the up market, then you would probably sell it for 150 or 175K rather than sell it for 135K. So 135K for a 70,000 unit is not a good deal. Not in but in the game, it's a different scenario. But in the in real life, I think you would make a lot of value for that. You would make a lot of capital gains on that.
I agree.
Ben, it's up to you if you want to pick it up. This is not a bad deal, but in the game it can only sell for 135. Okay, he did anyway.
Got it.
Oh, Shivam, all right. Shopping mall. Okay, now this is who thinks shopping mall is a good deal?
I don't.
All right. Now, why do you think it is not a good deal?
There's no leverage.
Yes, the cash flow is low, the down payment is high, and there is not so many opportunities to sell it. So this is my analysis.
Correct. In real life, okay, let's convert it to real life. Let's not talk about the game anymore. Let's assume in real life there is an option. With the exact description that is given. The bank has taken back the mall from bankrupt owner, so which means the bank has got it the bank has to sell it.
Yeah.
The bank has to get rid of it. The bank has got no business holding a shopping mall. The bank wants to get rid of it. And the mall is currently 50% occupied, just listed today. From that description, what would you make out? If this were in real life, what would be your reaction?
Okay. Just listed today. So I think no one is going to buy today. So I will wait for a few weeks to drop down the cost. And also for down payment, I will ask to the bank, I don't want to pay all of them. Just give me a credit for that. And maybe I can buy it for 10% down payment, but not more. And the price, the cost must be 30,000, 40,000. It will be a good deal then.
All right.
So I will try to make it a cash flowing asset, since I'm not going to be able to sell it in the later. I will buy it for cash flow, not capital gains.
Yeah. Also, it's written like 50% occupied. It means there is already space available in the mall. So that's where like we can say it's not a very capital asset, we can say.
All right. Any other observations?
It seems to be a struggling business as it is, and not very viable.
Okay.
However, if you had excess cash and you were just looking to convert that to cash flow, then it would be an option as it is. If you had an abundance of cash and you're just looking to generate cash flow, there's much better opportunities to do it. But yeah, it's not a very good deal.
Okay, so
it's only 1.6% is interest. So
not even 2%.
Not buying it and holding your money in the bank will make you more.
correct.
So
okay, let me look at it in a different way. You could this is just an observation. It is not a rule, or this is not even a suggestion. Okay, now if it were in real life, like Ersin, I agree completely with what Ersin said. I would go back to the bank. I would negotiate the cost. I would negotiate the down payment. and I would wait for a few days before the bank realizes that it is not easy to sell this asset. Now, along with that, I just want to add on to what Ersin said. Along with that, say, I want us to think, what is the bank's interest? The bank probably already financed this 50,000 with the previous owner, which is why the bank is taking it back from the bankrupt owner. The mall is currently 50% occupied, which means there is a potential for increase in cash flow. If, again, in real life, I would actually look at the location. If you remember some of the other deals, we read the description. It said car wash business in a busy intersection. I don't remember who was part of that discussion when we had that in the Zoom meeting last time. But one of the car wash deals, it says car wash in a busy intersection, which means there's a lot of visibility, there's a lot of potential for business increase. In real life, I would actually look and say, okay, the small shopping mall. Okay, there's a small shopping mall, first of all. So it is not going to be anything fancy. You're probably not going to have an arcade over there where kids can come and have fun, or you're not probably having a movie theater or a miniplex, movie theater where it can generate some footfall. It probably has a collection of small shops, because some of the bigger shopping malls, if you've noticed, they have what we call the anchor store. I think we've discussed this also in one of the videos before. There is something called an anchor store. So if you look at, I don't know how familiar you are with Carrefour. So Carrefour is a French supermarket chain, the hypermarket chain. So they come and they take up the whole mall, or let's say they are the biggest store in the mall. Or if you look at I don't know which others, but many of these supermarkets, they come and they become they take up most of the space in the shopping mall. And all the other shops, the small shops, they depend on these big guys to create footfall, to create customer, to create exposure to customers. So it's a small shopping mall. So I'm guessing that there is no anchor store like that in this shopping mall. So that would make it a little less attractive to invest. But if it is in a great location, in real life, if it is in a great location, and I am able to wait for a few days and negotiate with the bank I don't think the cost will change, because the cost is decided by the bank based on how much money is owed to the bank. So for that reason, I don't think the cost will change, but definitely there can be a difference. There can be a lot of change in the down payment. So from 50,000, like Ersin said, I could probably come down to 5,000 or even 10,000, which is 20%. 20% is kind of the limit for a down payment in a real estate deal. So if you look at the cost of 50,000, if you keep the cost of 50,000, then probably it would come down to the down payment on the down payment to maybe about 10,000. And that would make, if I put in 10,000, that would make my cash flow more viable. If you look at it, then it's 800 by 10,000. So it's 800 divided by 10,000. into 100, which would then give me 8% cash flow. Yeah, instead of this 800, let me recheck that.
But wait,
Yes, that's
your cash flow will decrease, but right? Because you might have some interest after on the
yes,
remaining amount.
that's true. That's true. We are only trying to improve the situation, the deal as it stands right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I wanted to consider this deal in real life, like Ersin said, the first thing I would negotiate is the down payment. Because if I take the down payment from 50,000 to 10,000, which is 20%, immediately my cash flow becomes 8% of my down payment, which is a very attractive deal. It's a very attractive deal. In fact, if you look at it, it's better than picking up the 3x2 houses.
It is.
So there are ways. Why I wanted to highlight this is in real life. Now, this is a game. There is not much we can do about it to change the deal. But in real life, there are a lot of ways to change the deal. And Robert himself, Kiyosaki himself, he mentions a lot of times when he was able to negotiate with a bank or with a financial institution about the deal and make a good, and turn around a deal which was otherwise going down the drains. He was able to turn around and make a good proposal out of that. So I just wanted to highlight that in real life, we can do a lot of things. We can negotiation, the skill of negotiation, the art of negotiation can actually get us good deals in real life, especially for things like this, because the bank has got no business holding a shopping mall. So in a few days time, or maybe in a couple of months, the bank will immediately want to dispose it, and they will be willing to agree for some of the terms that you are willing to put in. Maybe increase the mortgage period, maybe increase the interest rate a little bit, whatever it may be. There is room for negotiation, not just looking at what is presented. Because 50,000 cost 50,000 down payment, it's like an outright purchase. There is no leverage. And like I think Steve mentioned that, Daniel mentioned that there is no leverage. Absolutely no leverage. That is very true. And the point is that if you are in real life, you may be able to negotiate leverage into the deal and make a good deal out of it. Right. So Shivam, anybody wants to add something? If you want to.
Sorry, I think I moved ahead.
That's all right.
Actually, for me, like paying a 50,000, then like your 40,000 will become a liability, right? And on top of that, if you are not getting 8%, like let's say if property rate, they are charging you 10%.
Okay.
In that case, it's a bad deal, right?
Okay. In real life, let's think back on the same deal. In real life, if you're getting 8% returns on your commercial property, and that's only 50% full. So occupancy is only 50%. So in real life, let's assume that it is in a good location. It is just a down market and the owner has gone bankrupt. So if that is the case, now your cash flow has the potential. Now, if you are working on 10% down payment, you are already in profit, because then you are already getting 16% returns. You are paying 5,000 as a down payment. So if you're paying 10% as down payment, so that is 5,000 that you're paying as a down payment at an interest rate of at a monthly expense of 500. Correct? Every payday.
I'm confused.
Okay.
Sorry.
No. Let's go back. Let me put that down. I'm going to share screen, and
Okay.
I'm going to.
Should I stop?
No, it's okay. I can do that directly from here. First, let
Or
me.
you can animate.
Yeah. Right. And let me screen share. Okay, there's a whiteboard option here. All right.
Yeah, otherwise you can just annotate on the screen only, our screen only.
Really? Okay. All right,
Yeah,
never mind. I put the whiteboard on, so everybody can see the whiteboard.
No,
Gonna scratch
I
on it.
can't.
You can't?
Yes.
I can see
Yes.
the whiteboard.
I see the whiteboard
Yeah.
clearly.
No,
Now I
see.
think we should be able to see. Yes, Lee, we can see now.
Okay. Clear out. Okay. So let's say your cost equals 50K, right? 10 extra, 50K, and your cash flow equals 800, and your down pay equals okay, here's where we are going to play. Now if we take a down pay of 5,000,
Yes.
that is a 10% down pay, right? Okay. What did I type?
10% of cost.
10% of cost, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10% of cost, and now that means your pay, let's say your pay day expense is 500, correct? Every payday you are going to spend 500.
Yes.
According to the game.
You're talking about the loan, right?
Loan.
I'm
Yes.
taking loan for 5,000. Are you saying that?
Yes.
No, actually, I'm not saying that. I understood that concept. I'm saying that when you are saying to a bank to just pay 5,000, in that case, bank will say for the remaining 45,000, you have to pay me a interest, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Not.
let's say.
In that case, cash flow will decrease. Yeah. Sorry.
So, what's the interest rate in the dollar right now? Okay, let's think it like that.
10%
Let's
we
say
can say.
No, guys, I think let's come back to what the game does. Every time you make a down pay, right?
Yeah.
Every time you make a down pay, you are actually putting the rest into mortgage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our cash flow gets affected. Like I'm talking about real life, or you can say, so you are basically saying like when we are going to the bank, we are just going to pay them 5,000, and after that our cash flow will not remain same. So I'm saying that it's not point to like decrease the down pay without decreasing interest and all.
Okay. Say, Shivam, every deal in the game is done like that, isn't it? You are not paying cost. You are not taking your asset is going into the cost that you need to pay off is going into your liability.
Yeah.
Check your financial statement. Okay, let me close this one. No more. Check your financial statement.
Okay, I check that. Basically, what I'm saying that yes, like in the game this happens. I believe that in cash flow only that amount is already considered. What I'm saying that if we are talking about real life, in that we are not decreasing the cash flow.
See here, this is where this is the advantage of playing the board game. Okay, I'm going to share my screen right now. I think we don't have.
Daniel, I think might have the properties, so that
It's okay. Any
yeah,
property,
I think you guys
anything
also
will
have.
do.
Yeah.
Anything will do. Okay. What's this? You're seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So watch my expenses. Loan payment 800.
Yes.
That's the last line, right? That loan payment 800 is a separate thing. Why? Because I took oh sorry, okay, loan payment. All right, I have a loan. Look at my liabilities. I have a loan of 8,000. Correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you see that? Okay. I have a loan
Yes.
under my liabilities. Under my liabilities, I have a loan of 8,000. And under my expenses, I have a loan payment of 800.
Which is 10%. Yes.
10%. Okay. So according to what the game is doing, it is doing 10% loan repayment.
Yeah.
Look at my liabilities. My liability down there, 3x2 house, 55,000.
Yes.
My asset is a 67,000 3x2 house.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what the game is doing in your when it gives you the cash flow, when it gives you 800, it is actually taking your liability, your mortgage, and giving you the balance after the interest payment, like after all. Ben and Arsin. Okay. Ben is here. Arsin. Okay. All right. Share screen.
Meanwhile, you share your screen. Yeah, I think all joined.
Okay. All right. So everybody is here. All right. So what is cash flow? When you get a deal, what is actually cash flow? If you consider it in terms of balance sheet, it is your net profit.
Yeah.
Okay. So net profit is what you are actually getting out of the deal after all the expenses that are related to the deal before your down payment. Let me repeat that. It is the cash flow that you're getting after all the expenses from the deal before you make your down payment. So when you make the down payment,
on loan, or
it doesn't matter, loan or cash or however you make the deal, this 800 is always there from the deal.
Yeah.
All right, this 800 is always there from the deal. This 800 is after your maintenance, is after your, this is including your mortgage on the property and everything. Now,
Yes.
your loan that you are taking is additional expense that you are incurring because you don't have the cash.
Yeah.
So you are your when you pick up a property, when you buy a property, the reason it goes to, let's say, if it is my house, the reason my house goes into my liability without an additional expense. Now, if you look at my expense sheet, there is no additional expense because I purchased the house. Can you see an additional expense because I purchased the house? No, it is not there. There is an additional expense like a loan payment because I took a loan. I can take a loan for anything. I can take a loan without any reason. If I have the cash and I still want to go and pick up a loan, I can just go and borrow. There are many loans which you can get for spending money, not just for buying an asset. And most people, they actually get loans to spend the money, not to buy an asset.
Okay.
Many people, like say, for example, if I buy a house on loan and I live in it, I have spent the money. I have not invested the money.
Yeah.
Correct? I have spent the money. Now, if I buy a car on a loan, I have spent the money. I have not invested the money. If it's a personal car, that is. If it's a company car or a commercial vehicle, I make it work for me. And because it works for me, I generate some income, I generate cash flow, then it becomes an asset for me. So the idea is I can take a loan for anything. It doesn't matter.
How to like basically you guys said when we are going to a bank, we
Yes.
are going to negotiate to decrease the down payment.
Correct.
Actually, I have understand what you say, Shubham. So I can explain about that.
Sure.
Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. We are talking about this. So rental income stays the same when you negotiate and take a mortgage for it. Is it correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So
but
you didn't decrease the mortgage while you are paying the full cost as down payment. So you need to decrease the mortgage when you negotiate with the bank. So what you are asking about what's going to happen. So let's say we have 800 cash flow right now. I will turn it black with a 100% down payment. Let's say we have decreased that to 10% down payment, and our cash flow will be decreased also to, let's say, 100. You need to calculate that you are investing for 50,000 and getting 800, and you are investing 5,000 and getting 100. So
yeah.
Oops. How much is it become? Let's say 2%. Is it correct?
Yes.
So
which was 1.6, I guess. Yeah.
you are getting 1.6. Which deal is better?
Yeah, in that case, like that's what it's as like Leo were mentioning, like I'm saying, like it's not 8%, it's just a 2%. That's what I'm saying. It's not a very significant.
Actually, it's significant, but if you will check for mortgage payments, it will not cost you for 700 to take 45,000. So this is where you should look when you are negotiating, I think, with the bank. So it will increase the interest and you can be minus 100 and
Yes,
you
that
won't
can
going
also
to
happen.
make any money.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, this would be really interesting to see in real life because, like Arsen said, most of the time mortgage payment is not very expensive. Mortgage payment is not very expensive for the fact that there is a fixed asset. Now,
yes,
if you go to, if you look at bank interest rates for different kinds of loans, you will see something very interesting. If you are getting a loan, a startup loan,
Yeah.
a startup loan, the interest rate will be very high compared
Yes.
to a vehicle loan, an automobile loan. If you wanted to buy a car, they will give you something like a 3% interest rate. And if you wanted to take a startup loan, they would give you something like a 16% interest.
Yes.
At the same time, if you wanted to buy a building, a commercial building, they will give you a lower interest rate than if you wanted to buy a residential property. Again, the interest rate will go up.
Yes.
Now, in spite of all that, even if you wanted to buy a residential property and or a commercial property, compare it with a startup loan. Your startup loan would be at 18% and your home loan would still be at 9%. The reason why the banks do this is because I've spoken to bank guys about this, and I've checked with them. So it's easier to get a vehicle loan because the vehicle becomes a fixed asset. It can be taken back by the bank anytime they want. So is even better is the mortgage on a building because you can't take the building anywhere. At least in case of a car or a truck, you can take it apart and you can sell the parts and you can make some money while the bank doesn't make any money on it. But for a building, you can't take it and run away anywhere. So it is there. So it is a very fixed asset. And for that reason, the bank always feels more comfortable because the risk is lower that they might miss what happens after they miss the payments. When you make a default on the payments, they are more comfortable. They just have to, because also when you take a startup loan, give you money without a collateral. Whereas in case of a mortgage, your property is not in your name. Your property is yours for operation. You can operate the property, you can make business out of it, but the title deed of the property, the ownership, the real ownership of the property lies with the mortgage holder. So for that reason, the bank is not worried that you have a higher mortgage or you have something on a loan. They will give you a very small interest rate on a mortgage than you will get for a different kind of loan like a startup loan or something. Even a business loan. Sometimes business loans can go up to 33%. Interest.
Yeah. I think basically what we're saying that it's better to take, basically we're changing the loan type by doing this. If we see in a game, we might want to take like kind of a more moderate plan or something like that because it's a cheap loan. Instead of taking the loan, direct loan on our cash, which basically increase the cash, that bank loan.
Okay.
That was the
good example. Let me share the screen before I come to that. let's say I'm sharing my screen and we will look at the home mortgage payment under my expenses. Can you see the home mortgage payment?
Yes.
1,900 every payday. And what is my home mortgage? Under my liabilities, the first item under my liabilities, that's 202K. That's 202,000. Right?
Yes.
So what percentage is that? 1,900 divided by
9.4 or no?
202,000 equals into 100.
8-9%, I guess, right?
0.9%.
0.9%. Yeah.
0.9%. That's my home mortgage interest rate or repayment rate. Okay. If I am paying 0.9%, imagine, because this is okay, this is not the exact calculation, but think of it. This is a home mortgage typically runs for 30 years. It's a 30-year period. So if 30 years, I am paying 1,900 each, I'm going to pay 1,900 into 12 into
30%.
30. I'm going to end up paying 684,000 for a mortgage of 202K. Did you get that? 1,900 every month. So that's 12 months into 30 years. So if I pay at this rate, I'm going to pay at 684,000 because I borrowed 202K from the bank. But I'm getting it at 0.9%. No, then that shouldn't be 0.9%, but we'll figure out. Anyway, what is important? I don't want to go into the calculations right now, but imagine if I had to pay off 202, I would take out 1,900 from my expenses. Now we've all done this in the initial days of our gaming. We've all paid off the liabilities so that our expenses will reduce and we will get into the fast track much faster, right? So when we do that, what are we saving? 202K we pay for 1,900 in less expenses.
Yeah.
Right? Which is really you're not getting 10% back. Normally, if you pay off a bank loan, you would get 10% of your expenses. You would get 10% as your expenses removed, right?
Yes.
Now, in this case, if you pay off 202,000, you should get what? 10 less. So you should get 20,000 in 20,000 reduction in your expenses. Instead, you are only getting 19,000 reduction. 1,900 reduction in your expenses. Yeah. So imagine what a cheap rate of interest they have offered you on your mortgage.
That's it. Yeah, actually, I always actually forgot to compare two different type of loans. Yeah.
Correct. No, it is a good thing that you brought it up because now we have opened up another area of discussion as well. Different types of loans, and even within the same kind of loan. Now, if you go in for a business loan, and I know this because we have done this for some of my answers. When you go in for a business loan, there are loans which anybody can get without collateral, but you need a guarantee. Now, if you go to a bank and say, I want a loan of a small loan, the bank will be very happy. They'd say, okay, we'll give you this loan, but we need one person as a guarantor for this loan. And we need to verify that the person is actually a, say, for example, a government employee. Or this is in India. If you are a government employee, then the bank can request the government to collect or let's say, what do you call it? To recover this loan payment from the guarantor's salary. And since the salary is paid by the government, it is very easy for the bank to collect the repayment, the recovery from the government directly before it reaches the guarantee.
Yeah.
Same in Turkey.
Oh, all right. Okay. So this can happen. So anybody can get a loan without collateral, but the guarantor is putting his salary as a collateral in this case. Now, if you want a higher amount, you can get a higher amount, but you need a collateral, like say a commercial property, which is pledged to the bank. Now, the property itself becomes a guarantee, because then that is exactly what happens with the shopping mall, because when the shopping mall is when the owner of the shopping mall can't make the payments, the shopping mall becomes a collateral, the guarantee, and they have repossessed the shopping mall. The bank has repossessed the shopping mall. So different kinds of loans work in different ways. The interest rates vary on mortgage and on loans, on different kinds of loans. This is especially when you want to take a loan and you want to build an asset. You have to be very, you have to do a lot of research and figure out which is the right loan. Just like how Ersin showed us right now, if you look at the cash flow and you look at your loan repayment, your additional expenses, your mortgage, and all of that, and you look at your returns and you decide whether it is actually worth making the loan, this particular loan or that particular loan, which is the better choice. It's easier to figure out if you do the calculations right. Steve, your turn.
Okay.
Steve has been very silent today.
Okay, it just landed on a payday.
Okay. Fine. Let's go to Ersin.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
There's no opportunity yet.
Okay. Okay.
Someone was trying to buy my apartment, which I don't have.
So, all right. I think we have already discussed this before on the same deal. So I'm just going to run quickly through the repayment. Sorry, the cash flow versus down pay, and that would be 2,700 divided by 40,000. which is 6.75%. It's a good deal. So I'm going in for it. All right. So just let's run through that again. Successful coin business, coin telephone business available due to death of owner. Heirs live out of state, which means they are not interested in running the business. So they want to sell. They are trying to dispose the asset. All locations on long-term contract, which means there is no cost of sale. Everything is already sold. There is nothing that you need to do in addition. There is no more money to spend to get that. And 40,000 in down payment divided by 200,000 in cost is 20%, which is within limits for a real for a business deal. I think it's perfectly worth it. Right, so here we go. And let's see what it did to my financial statement. It took me down by another, what did it take me down by another 40,000? So 4,400 less. I had 8,000 in loans and now I have 44,000. So I took a loan of 36,000. So 36,000, which means 3,600 down and 2,700 up. So I end up with a payday of 3,000, which is not bad. I'm still in positive, and my passive income has gone from 0 to 3,100, which is not bad. Right. So just a quick recap of that. There you go. It's interesting that in the game, the taxes don't go up with your with every asset that you buy. You know, the income from your assets, but the income from passive income, there are no taxes on your passive income in the game.
Actually, I think they are already reducing the taxes from the passive income. So
yes,
say,
yes,
from cash flow thing.
Correct. Yeah, before the cash flow, it's already reduced. It's already taken out. You're right.
Okay.
All right.
So, forget to buy. Too much talk. I forgot.
Right. Okay, so
I'm out of the game.
No.
I will quit.
Try to sell. You can you can come back. You can come back. Sell. And you can pay back.
No.
Hey, Lijo.
No, you can't come back.
Oh.
All right.
I'm bankrupt. Okay.
Lijo.
So
okay,
yes,
I can give you a loan.
That was a good opportunity to talk about taking care of your statements, financial statements.
Yes.
Like you did with me the first time.
Yes. Actually, the reason why I did not focus so much on, I did not mention that again and again in this
Okay.
in this video session is because we have been doing that several times before. Every time we go on that, and until the last video session, I think we were doing that. But yes, this is very important. Now we see this. It's very important that we should.
yes, sometimes it still happens.
Yes.
Mainly when my kids come to me and I'm playing with other guys, and I lose the control about the game, and
right.
That's it.
This again, okay.
This might be like in real life, right? So.
This is in real life as well, because in real life, I have always noticed whenever I have an argument with my wife and I take the car and go out, or let's say all the accidents, most of the accidents that I've faced on the street, on the road, are after I had an accident, after I had an argument with my wife. So in real life, a lot of things can distract us. A lot of things can actually take away our focus from what we are supposed to be doing. And so this is one important thing that we need to have discipline in our actions. It is very important.
The thing we talked about last time was being in the now, wasn't it?
Yes.
That has a lot to do with it. So
true. We always have to focus on this moment and what is required in this moment. Of course, it is not always possible because we are all emotional beings as well. But in spite of that, in spite of that, we make our effort to be present. All right, yeah, there goes. You have opened up the opportunity for everybody else.
I think only you have that kind of property.
Really?
Okay.
Right. I think Ben had the opportunity to buy the 70K units. Oh, wow. What a
Yes,
deal.
yes, absolutely.
One of the best.
Yeah, one of the best.
in the game.
sweetness.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I need to leave because I have to take my child from our babysitter.
All right. Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Nice to see you after a long time.
Bye everyone. Bye.
See you too.
See you too. All right. So all right, time to make a little money. Oops, okay. Share screen first. Share screen first. Share screen. And all right. So what did I make on that? Now that is 80,000. Down payment was 8,000, and I think I did 2 paydays on that or 1 payday. I think I only did 1 payday on that.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So that was a good chance. Now this is again something that we think about and we say, okay, if there are more players in the game, the distance between your purchase or you buying the asset and you making money on the asset will come down. You make money faster, and this happens in real life as well. If you introduce a concept, now if you look at the social media, I don't know how many of us remember this website called Orkut. ORKUT.
No.
No.
I've heard about it.
You've heard about it. Shivam, definitely. Right, Shivam? You're muted. Okay, anyway. So Orkut is one of the first attempts at social media. Now, Orkut was, I think it was a product of Google. It was before Facebook. It was before Facebook introduced the concept of social media. And Orkut was about, personally, I liked Orkut better than Facebook. So Orkut was about connecting to people and all of that. But when Facebook came in, Facebook took the market by storm because people, a lot of a ready market was already available. People were already educated and warming up to the concept of social media. Now, Facebook, when they came out, they were more, let's say, there was less privacy, which is one of the reasons why I liked Orkut better than Facebook. There was more privacy. There was no privacy on Facebook, and there was a lot of privacy on Orkut. But as Facebook started to capture the market, it was actually eating the market of Orkut, because Orkut was the only player when they started. So it was the difficult, they had a very difficult time to engage the customer, engage their audience. They had a difficult time to talk to their audience and tell them, okay, here we are a social media site, or we are this kind of product, and you can use us. So when there are less players in the market, there is actually less economic activity in the market. When there are not many people who are active in the market, the economic activity in the market goes down, and for that reason, there is no ability to transact, make a transaction, because there is no flow of money. Now, the economy is everything about flow of money, right? This is that is one of the things that happens in a recession. There is no liquidity, there is no cash in the market. Asset valuation, very high. Cash flow, very low. Transactions, very low. Money changing hands, very low. This is what happens in a recession. And this is the reason why value is lost in a recession. So when there is a lot of economic activity, it is actually high. Now, Shivam, if you remember in that video that you shared, the same thing happens. When there are more transactions, there is more credit that is offered. When there is more credit, there is more growth. So it is an upcycle when more transactions are happening. So like if 6 of us are playing this game, it's an up market. Many people are trying to make deals. Many people are picking up opportunities. So any opportunity is not actually hidden from the market. It's just, even in real life, it's not hidden from the market. It is just that we have to make the right move at the right time to make that, to own that opportunity.
We have about 5 minutes, I think.
Yes, 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Okay, let's make this money happen. And okay, so that took my payday even less because I lost passive income, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to roll and do another big deal. Okay, limited partnerships. We have only crossed about 3 paydays in the whole game so far, which means limited partnerships are a good option. And this is paying about more than 4.5% returns for my down pay, which is not so bad. So I'm definitely going in for that. All right, Ben has a house.
Let's see here.
One minute. Or, oh no, that's different one. No. Oh, he has, right? Yeah.
He did take up that 70,000.
Okay.
Right? No, you.
So it was 70 cost, wasn't it? And 9,000 in down pay.
Down pay, yes. 9,000. You had 1,000 in cash, so you paid 8,000 in loans.
Yeah.
Good, good. Do you have a look at your financial statement? All right, your payday is still ahead. You are barely there, $80.
Mhm.
All right, but you have enough cash, so you don't have to worry about it. You could just, even if you go negative, you will still make up from your cash.
So you are now rich.
Yes, not wealthy, but rich. Okay. All right.
Another one.
Bad deal for you. 65,000. Okay. Anyway, fine. Okay. Is this this is our third Zoom session already over?
Is it?
Is it, or second one? I think second.
The third.
This is the third.
Yes.
It's time for us to wind up. Oh, yes, yes. Actually, it's time for us to wind up.
Is it the third already?
Yes, it's third already.
I thought it was the second, but anyway.
All right. Good deal, Steve.
Yes, it is.
All right. Okay, once we end this meeting, if anybody wants to